Hello, I'm Daniel. I wanted to just come on here and give a little COVID update. So, a lot of people probably know this already, but in case you don't, the emergency leave, the 80 hours of leave that you get if you get COVID, the free leave expired on December 31st. That is because essentially Congress let it expire. So, as of now, if you catch COVID, you're not going to get free leave from the agency. You're going to have to use your sick leave, your annual leave, or take LWOP. Now, our position, the union's position, is that the agency should be granting that leave still for a variety of reasons. So, our position and what we are asking Congress to do is to put out legislation to extend, or rather to bring back, because it did end, to bring back that emergency COVID leave or something like that emergency COVID leave. Because the fact of the matter is, if someone gets COVID and they have no leave and they need money, they might come to work. And obviously, we don't want that. I hope no one would do that. I hope no one would risk infecting their coworkers, but what we would like is to have something in place so that they have no reason to come to work, even if they don't care about other people. And again, I hope that we all care about other people and we wouldn't go to work if we have COVID, but we'd really like something to be in place just in case someone with COVID doesn't care about other people, right? So, and not only that, but this is a pandemic. This is a worldwide disaster, right? And anyone that has it could be suffering a great deal. And it's really a good thing if our agency can do something for them, even though, 2 weeks of paid leave, maybe that's not that much. Maybe we wish the agency would do more. Of course, we wish the agency would do more for the safety of the people in the building than the agency's doing. We all wish for that, but a minimum the agency can do is continue to give that free leave. So it has expired. So if you catch COVID, please stay home, and you can ask your manager about your options, but they're probably going to tell you COVID leave is expired. And so that is where we're at right now. That being said, I'll let you know right away if that COVID leave is brought back. And I think that there will be another COVID bill in Congress in the near future, and hopefully we can get something put in there that helps federal employees, because this is the minimum the agency can do, I think. So, that being said, that's the COVID leave issue. Weather and safety leave is not over. I know I hear that rumor sometimes. It's not over. However, the agency is very clearly doing everything they can to get people off weather and safety leave. So they are activating people for telework that never thought they'd be able to telework, right? And they are also, it seems like they're being very diligent in double checking people's doctor's notes. To make sure there's no fraudulent weather and safety leave going on. I think they may have finished that process. I don't know. I know some people have gotten in trouble. I'll say that. I don't know specifics beyond that, but some people with doctor's notes have gotten in some serious trouble because of the content of their doctor's notes. And if anyone out there's getting away with something, they're not going to get away with it much longer. So that being said, and if you know somebody that's getting away with something, I've said this for a while, if you know somebody has fraudulent weather and safety leave, you can tell a manager and you can report them to TIGTA too. The union does not act against employees, so reporting them to us isn't really going to do anything. But by all means, if you think somebody's getting away with something, you can do something about that. You don't have to just do nothing. So I talked about that. Okay, MaxiFlex is still happening. So MaxiFlex is where, like you have a regular 8-hour shift and like maybe you have to help a kid with their homework for an hour. Then you're like, okay, well, I want this hour off to help my kid with their homework and then tack this hour on at the end of my day. That's still happening. You have to ask in advance. A lot of people are taking advantage of that, and that is still happening. That MaxiFlex has not expired. And maximizing telework is still happening, right? So a lot of people are still teleworking. We don't know when that will end. We have no answers about when that will end. So I talked about weather and safety leave. I talked about telework. I talked about COVID leave. And what is the other thing I want to talk about? I want to talk about these reports of these COVID cases. It's alarming. We're not getting the amount of information we need. When we get it, we're not getting it in a timely manner. The truth is, my position is, the union shouldn't be the one telling you, this case happened here at this time. This person worked on this team. We shouldn't have to do all that. Management should be doing that. It's kind of alarming that they're putting that responsibility on us. I don't feel like I should be contact tracing. We're trying to. I don't feel like we should have to, though. The agency should be doing that. And we keep telling them in our meetings with them, which they sometimes get canceled and rescheduled, but we keep telling them in our meetings with them, hey, you need to do better. You need to give these people information and make them feel safe. And they act like they're listening, but I don't know if they are. So I'm going to encourage everyone, again, go to nteu.org and click those things on the side that are like reach out to your congressman, ask for hazard pay, ask for safety, ask for COVID help, all the things that are there. Click on those and reach out to your representatives. Our hope is that if they hear from us again and again and again, maybe something will happen. I'm trying to get a meeting with someone in Washington, and I think that this person may actually meet with me. So hopefully we can get someone to really stand up for us, because it seems like that's what we need to do. It seems like we have to go over the heads of the leadership of the agency, because we're reporting what's happening here to the people above our building, and it really seems like nothing's being done. It still seems like the agency doesn't have a clear plan, which is alarming because this pandemic's been going on. It's January. This pandemic's been going on since what, April or March even, right? And that is a very long time. It is, is a whole year going to go by? Maybe. And it seems like, in March, April, and May, the agency not having a plan is kind of alarming, but it's also understandable. This is apparently not a thing a lot of people had a plan for. But now, it's been a long time, right? We're not in the summer anymore. We're all the way in winter. And it still seems like the agency doesn't have a plan. Do they have a plan they're not sharing with us? I don't know. It really seems like every time something happens, they're just making it up as they go. That's really what it seems like. So we are continuing to ask them to give us a clear outline of a plan. And the truth is, we shouldn't have to ask. They should be telling you what their plan is, and they should be communicating with you. And the fact that they're not really makes it seem like they don't care. It really seems like they don't care that many of the people in our building don't feel safe. It seems like they don't care. They're not putting out anything to tell you, these are the steps we're taking, this is how we're keeping us safe, keeping you safe, keeping ourselves safe. And so my question over and over again is going to be, why? Why aren't you communicating? Why aren't you trying to convince these employees that they're safe? Because that's part of their responsibility, is to convince you that you're safe. And it seems like either they don't know that or they don't care. And that is troubling for a lot of reasons. But one of the reasons is, of course, our employees are less productive when they don't feel safe. And so we're just thinking, don't you want to get the best out of these employees? Don't know. So that's all for today. Just wanted to come on and talk about COVID for a little bit. So, and again, I keep saying this. We don't know that anyone has caught it in our building. I think a few people did, but we don't know for sure because we are in a COVID hotspot. And that really highlights how contagious and common this disease is. It's just that here in our state, in our states, in Missouri and Kansas, like COVID's everywhere. So of course there's a lot of people that have it in our building, and we're expecting in the next week or so to have a spike in cases just because of people getting together for Christmas. We had a spike in cases 2 weeks after Thanksgiving. So I anticipate this time next week, maybe late this week, maybe like Friday or next Monday, I expect to be incredibly busy sharing information about COVID cases, because that's how it goes. You're exposed and 2 weeks later you get it, or 2 weeks later you find out you have it. That seems to be a trend, is 10 to 14 days people find out they have it. So try not to panic if we have a lot of COVID cases late this week and early next week, because we are expecting that. I am expecting to be very busy sharing information about those. So everybody try to stay safe. The agency told me they were going to have giant hand sanitizer dispensers placed in the building. That was a couple months ago, and I have not seen that happen. So we're still waiting on that. I'm going to reach out to facilities again and ask them, hey, what's the deal? I'm sure that in the United States there's a shortage of equipment like that, but that's no excuse. We are the government, and we should have hand sanitizer dispensers. There's no excuse for you to have to bring your own, or for there to be a little bottle at the front of your unit that everybody shares. Like that's crazy. So I'm going to bother facilities about that again, because it's embarrassing that you can't get sanitizer all the time everywhere in the building. So that's it for today. This has been your COVID update. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me, and please try to be safe and wear a mask. Thank you.